I'm audio on Clubhouse, audio over here. We're in both places, all is well. Good afternoon, everyone. While we were waiting, I am trying to build my network on LinkedIn. So I put the QR code to please follow me on LinkedIn. I've started a newsletter on LinkedIn. So you'll see my first article that I, of course, using ChatGPT to write it yesterday within 5 minutes. But my goal is to do a newsletter once a week. And so I need followers. So if you could please follow me on LinkedIn, I would appreciate it. All right, so moving on to the business at hand. I have lost my mouse. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, my mouse is giving me issues. All right, we're gonna go with it this way. Okay, so today's topic in our Back to Basics series is creating graphics using MidJourney. And to get started, I would like to ask you all one. Oh, people can't call me now. Let me just put my little self on Do Not Disturb. Do Not Disturb. Thank you. Okay. So yes, I'd like to ask you to put in the chat your intention for today. So last week I forgot to ask that, but I like to set intention. So my intention is to be creative. And I want to just go back and recap on what we did last week and the homework. And then we'll talk about the steps to get into MidJourney and how to use MidJourney in your post. Right. I saw this and I thought it was quite funny. This kill. So it's supposed to be humor. So the OpenAI job, a kill switch engineer located in San Francisco, California. The job salary range is $300,000 to $500,000 a year. The role is to listen. We just need someone to stand by the servers all day and unplug them if this thing turns on us. You'll receive extensive training on the code word, which we will shout if GPT goes off the deep end and starts overthrowing countries. We expect you to be patient, know how to unplug things. Bonus points if you can throw a bucket of water on the servers too, just in case. Be excited about OpenAI's approach to research. I thought it was cute. Anyway, so that's my humor for today. So recapping on what we did last week. So we used ChatGPT to create social media quotes using a particular template from the AI PRM template pool. Then we created a template in Canva. We imported in our file, our CSV file, and then we also got a template from Metricool that we also updated and then imported that to Metricool. So that was supposed to be your homework to get your quote, create your CSV file, create your template, upload your template to Canva, download that PNG file, upload those files to Imager. I forgot to tell you that part. Yeah, upload it to Imager so that you can get those links that you're going to use on the CSV file in Metricool, and then to upload all of that back into Metricool. So that's what we did last week. So in the chat, tell me how many people actually tried. If I can find the chat, I keep losing things around here. I'll let Allegra tell me. So how many people tried using Canva, Metricool, Imager, all of the above? Anyone? Allegra, help me because I am not seeing the chat there.
At the so you can kind of go through them all. But you know, Trisha, we can go over that and see if we can, you know, we need to release it right now. But I haven't seen anyone yet that tried any of the systems.
Okay.
That we're talking about. And trying out, you know, what we went over last week. Let's see, who was here last week? Ale, were you here last week? I know Ale, Al, and I think Angelica was here. Only select few people that were here, but yeah.
I thought, Tori, I thought you were here last week too. Maybe it was the week before. Okay.
I was, but I couldn't really. I was doing something else. I was still at the gym, but I was trying to focus, and it was a lot. That's why I asked about the replay.
Okay, so we have to figure out about posting the replays in the Facebook group then. So that, if that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, well, we can post them we can post it under that same. So what I think maybe we should do is just post them under the, you know, the date that we had it in the message of that post, put the replay in there. And then, because what I do is I send Allegra like a screenshot of the homework thing. So yeah. We're working on it. We're getting better each week. You know, we're trying to improve upon it. So definitely, I will make sure to do that. Yes, it's all good. It's all good. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So MidJourney, this is what we're here for. Text to image generator is what MidJourney is, and the images that you see in the background, these are images from various places in MidJourney. I will provide you guys with the links. I should have, which I didn't. And then see, now I got to end because when I share, why won't it let me I don't want to swap displays. I'm going to end my show for a second so that I can share with you guys this way. I just want to share with you guys just some of the beautiful imagery that is out there. So MidJourney has what they call their showcase page. And so you can just go and get and see some of the images that's created with MidJourney. And then let's say you like a particular style, you can see the actual prompt that was used to create that image, so you can recreate it yourself. Right, so that's the nice thing about the showcase page here. The other page that has a showcase is it's called the Playground AI, and Lexica also has one. I kind of like Lexica's. Let me go to Lexica's first. I should have had these open in advance, but it's all good. So if you go to Lexica Art, and as you see, like just down below on the main page, it also shows this is a different text to image platform, but it also can, you know, give you kind of spark ideas and whatnot. So I like just scrolling through just to see, you know, some of the beautiful artwork that folks come up with, like this one. Look at this one. Kind of cool. So I will make sure that when I post the homework, I will post the links as well so that you guys have access to it. And I wanted to show a video, which I did prompt. So this is someone actually, so this process is a little bit more complicated. We're not going to go into all the detail of this, but DID is another site that takes the AI image that you create, make it into a video by importing in. So you can ask ChatGPT to create this video script, you upload it. And so on my thank you page, if you go to like join my birthday club, when you see my thank you, I have a video that I use DID with to create with an avatar. But this one, you actually can take a voice. So you can input like Patti LaBelle songs in there, interviews she's done, whatnot. And
hello, I am Patti LaBelle. I am an artificial representation of the real life singer. Thank you for bringing me to life. Cool. I enjoy singing. Hello, I am Pat.
Which is pretty cool. So it sounds just like her, right? Were you guys able to hear it? Yes, no? I need some feedback.
No, I was definitely able to hear it, and it actually caught me off guard because I'm looking at it at the same time, and I'm like, whoa, like it's just like what you're seeing. It looks so real, sounds real, feels real.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So you can take your own voice. So let's say you don't want to be on camera. So here's the thing, right? You don't want to be on camera, but you know that you can utilize this on your website. Again, it could just be when you do your funnel and you have your thank you page, it could just be an avatar of you. It's your voice because you have enough, I'm sure, audio. Go grab some of your Clubhouse clips or whatever. You can input your audio into the system so that when you put the script in, the sound will sound like you, or you could just record it directly in too, right? So just think, I'm showing you this as the possibilities are out there as to what you can do with this AI technology. But we're here to talk about MidJourney. So back to my little PowerPoint, because I think I have like 2 more slides before we jump into. So here, I'm just gonna make this bigger so that I don't have to worry about, let's close all this stuff one second. There we go. So the steps for accessing MidJourney. Yeah, I use Idris Elba as my thing to create my AI for this particular slide. Anyway, you have to join a Discord server. If you already joined the join the MidJourney's server on Discord is the first step. If you don't have a Discord account, then you just need to create a Discord account first. Then the second thing would be to go to the newbies channel. And then you can start using the prompt process. And we're going to walk through how to write a prompt, what is considered, what a prompt template looks like for MidJourney. And then once the job is processed, there are some scaling and variations that you can do on it, and then how to save it, right? So it's actually pretty easy once you get the basics of have a Discord account and joining that MidJourney server. So you can go to midjourney.com, which I think I did do that. So here it looks like a bunch of nothing, but if you notice down here in the bottom left, it says get started, right? Get started and join the beta are the 2 things that you would need on this page. Everything else, and if you decide that you want to pay for an account, so like I have a paid account with MidJourney, then you can do that on this site as well. So get started will then give you a guide. So we'll go to using the quick start guide, and it kind of walks you through the steps, right? So it talks about our code of conduct. Joining the beta is basically all you need to do is click on that link and then find the newbies channel, and then you can start using the prompt. So Discord you can use as a standalone app, or you can use it from the browser. So I use it as a standalone app. Just my son has been using Discord for forever. Matter of fact, 1 year, just as an aside, me and my side stories, I bought him. So I was buying the kids stock for Christmas because I was doing no Christmas that year. And so they all got stocks. And so I wanted to buy him Discord stock because I was buying them whatever they liked. So one, he plays Xbox all the time. So he got Microsoft stock. Olivia loves money. So she got Wells Fargo stock because that's where we have our bank accounts. And Troy, who is on Discord, he eats, breathes, and lives on Discord, even though he never talks to his mama when I try to text him on here, but he's always on do not disturb for some reason. But when I need him and I know he's there on my phone, I go on Discord and say, can you please answer your phone? Because he never looks at his phone, but he's always in front of the computer on Discord. But I bought him Discord stock some years ago. It's under a mutual fund because Discord is not a publicly traded company. Anyway, I digress. Once you are on, once you have your Discord open or you click on the link. So remember I said, let me go back here. There were 2 links on that midjourney.com page. The one over here that says join the beta, you can click on that and that'll jump you into Discord that way as well. So let's see how it jumped me right over here to the Discord server. So here I'm on the Discord server. When you look on, if you're not familiar with Discord, right, everyone has servers. So for example, my son, he does Dungeons and Dragons. So, they create their servers for individual things. I have my NFTs, all kinds of crap on here. But you'll see the icons for the, depending on what server you join. Adobe has now gotten into, interestingly enough, just I want to say a week or two ago, they have now announced that they're doing text to image using AI. So Adobe also has a platform, and they're using Discord as well. Leonardo is another platform that does text to image. So Lexica does it on a Discord server as well. So just think, if you're thinking of any of the platforms to go from text to image, more than likely you're going to need Discord. So here's the icon for MidJourney. It's a little sailboat with the white background. So it tells you that you have to use one of the newbie servers. So you see there are several rooms here, and there are a couple of servers in each room. The thing I like going over here, I now do everything in my own server, but I go over here because sometimes I like to look and see what other people are doing, because then I can look at their prompts and see what their prompt look like. So these are folks that have been doing stuff on here the past couple of minutes on that particular server. So once you're on the server, I don't believe the new server has the settings. So MidJourney is now up to version 5. And the way that you can see, and I don't believe that without the paid version, you can see what version you're using, because you used to have to put the dash version in the space. But if you say / and settings and press enter twice, it will bring up your settings to see what version you're on. So I'm on version 5 when I run. I could actually go back to version 4 if I wanted to. Not that I want to, but just saying. So you may want to check that. Back to, let's talk about what a prompt looks like before we get ahead of ourselves. So okay, go to my next slide. Next slide. Oh, there we go. Okay. So the anatomy of a prompt. So a prompt in MidJourney starts off with the / image, sorry, not image, imagine, / imagine prompt : and then you give it your prompt. In version 5, you can give it like full sentences. In version 4, you do phrases separated by a comma or semicolon. Either one works. And then you have this next section that's these optional parameters, and that's going to change the way things look. So, for example, you want a 16 by, again, you're designing for your social media platform. So you might want a 60, if you're doing it for a video, you might want 16 by 9. If you're doing it for, a square text, you might want 1:1. So you can put in the aspect ratio, which is what the AR is. You can set your aspect ratio. Then the next thing that you can do is this C and a number, and it goes to 100, and it's called chaos, which means that MidJourney can use its creativity to determine how the image will end up looking, right? And then the quality is how much time it should spend before it generates the image. A lot of times I'll go to Q4 because I wanted to spend a little bit more time. And like I said, now you have, before you used to say version 3 or version 4, you would do the V4. The thing to keep in mind, there has to be a space between, so notice I said AR with no space there. It has to be a space between the parameter and what the parameter value is. There has to be a space. So it's like C space and 70, right? Q space 2, V space 4. So just to be aware of that. So that's what our, okay, so now we can switch back over to, so when you type / imagine, notice that above it gives you, it finishes the word for you. So I can just click on the word prompt so that I don't have to type the rest of that. And so let's say the one that I had there was astronaut on a horse, right? Let me go back. Imagine, listen, I'll have to type. And we're going to see the difference between, oops. Why is it, okay. Let me just type of astronaut on a horse. So it takes a little while because again, it's generating images for everybody. So you kind of fall in line in the queue. While it's doing that, I'm going to go over to my server because I've done this before. A little bit. Okay, so here's the astronaut on a horse. It automatically stuck the V5 in there because I'm on version 5. Then I put in the AR 30 3:2 aspect ratio, chaos of 70, quality 3. It automatically switched to version 5, even though I said version 4. But remember, I said my settings was set already to version 5. So it didn't overwrite the setting, which is what I was looking at. But you can see here, let me just make this a little bigger so that you can kind of see in the browser. So the difference between, so this is just asking it astronaut on a horse versus the next one, which was with some additional parameters on it. So now it kind of took some liberties with that chaos of 70. It took its own liberties to make some changes to that astronaut on a horse. So you kind of see the difference between just having a generic prompt versus adding more, optional parameters to it. The other thing too is if we go to ChatGPT, we can then say, let's say we're not sure what we want to do. You'll see here on ARPRM, there are some prompt templates that you can use. So I just picked the first one because that's where my thing landed. So it says just write a description. So I'm just going to write a description. So let's say today is today the last day of Women's History Month? I think so, right? Or it's tomorrow? Yeah. So let's say Women History Month, and I don't know, International Women Represented. So I'm not sure of this one. Some of them will give you multiple options to what you want to type in for your prompt. Okay, this one only gave me one. I don't particularly care for that. So I like when it gives you several so you can kind of see the different versions, but we're just going to take what it gave all of that detail and see what it comes up with. So it's saying it wants it to be cinematic, hyper detail, insanely intricate details. Oh, the thing about version 5 versus version 4, to let you know, is when it comes to like fingers and appendages and things, in version 4, they didn't have it right. Like the hands would look like claws, and the ears, like my AI girl, she has holes in her ears, but I was quite fine with her having holes in her ears. But 5 gives you more, did it not go? No, I didn't hit enter. So notice when it says waiting to start, so we know that it's in the queue for the server. Now you have these more realistic images. Like I was working on a Tumblr last night, and the guy wanted Joe Namath. I put in Joe Namath. None of these. First of all, that's not even Joe Namath's number. So this didn't work out very well for me. So the moment he did that, I was like, okay, let me not fight with you because I didn't have time for you. But the images are so realistic with version 5 than with version 4. So it's still coming together with what it's generating. The other thing that I also like is you can use emojis while this is still generating. Oh, there it goes. Okay, let me open it in the browser window so you can see it a little bit clearer. So these are four different images. Let's say I liked this third one. So it counts 1, 2, and then 3, 4, right? Kind of in a Z pattern. So the information under the bottom is for variation and, oh, I forgot what U stands for. Basically it's the same, that image just saved in its highest resolution, but version 5 gives you the highest resolution anyway. So this U1 through 4 is kind of meaningless in version 4. If you don't like it, you can have it just regenerate new images. That's the little recycle circle here at the end. But let's say I liked version 3, but I'd like to see some other variations on it. So I'm just going to click V3, and then it's going to give us some variations on that particular one in the series. And while it's generating, I am going to go to Emojipedia. So you can actually now use emojis. So let's say I'm going to get the wave emoji. I'm going to grab that one. And I'm going to grab, it's still thinking, but while it's thinking, you can still run multiple jobs. So I'm going to work on my next one. So imagine. And then I'm going to use emojis instead. So let's say, what do I want? Look at the flag. And we'll grab a girl. All right, so you see that so it took the same image from before, so that we got the prompt to use from ChatGPT. And then it gave us 4 of the 4 similar ones. So notice it's when I say similar, it is very similar, right? So if you notice, like this lady, she was looking at the camera, looking away from the camera with gray hair. This one had freckles. She now has red hair. So it's slightly different, but kind of in that same vein. So this is what it came up with my emoji. So remember I put waves, but so there was water, there was the Jamaican flag, and a girl. And this is what it came up with, which I think is pretty cool. So you can use emojis. The thing too to keep in mind, there's a document I wanted to share, and I don't have it open, but I will open it up. I had a document that there's nuances with words. So for example, if you say, And the reason why I'm not going to type all of this in is because I'm got to scroll to where I need in the document, blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to get to, okay, here's the example. So you want to generate a picture. So it says a picture of a man, but the nuances in words, what it considers a beautiful man, an attractive man, a handsome man, and what was the other one? A hot man, right? So descriptive words is definitely needed. Now, granted, you could have said a guy with a beard, a mustache, you could, add all of that in there as well. The hot dog one I thought was also cute. So a hot dog, right? So a hot dog could be this, right? A hot dog on fire. Or you tell it to use words. So you want to use words that are, what is the word that I'm looking for? Negative. So having a negative prompt. So a negative prompt means do not include these things. So you want a hot dog, but you don't want fire, you don't want smoke, and you don't want animals, right? So now it's looking more like what's expected of a hot dog. So like this one is looking like it's covered in cheese, more like a corn dog. Oh, that must be mustard. So my point is that their words are important when you are trying to create your image. Some other things that I also use a lot is setting it at 8K because it gives you more realistic, a more realistic image. The missing limbs is not so much. So before, folks would say, not deformed, not all of those things. With version 5, that doesn't seem to be an issue anymore. And I can show you some in my, and the nice thing too, just like with ChatGPT, how it kind of saves your history of your chats, in Discord, you can go, you can scroll all the way back through, try to find one that had funky appendages. No, it was when I was doing the girl. Oh, here. Yeah, so look at this. So you see her hands here look like clubs. So this is not even a hand, it's like a glove or something that, so this one, how many fingers does she have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 fingers to her gloves, stuff like that, right? So that was version 4. So with version 5, though, like I said, it's a lot better than it was prior as they make changes. So that's a good thing. Questions? I've been talking a lot. Did I lose you all?
No, you didn't lose me. I'm very immersed in this description, this pattern that you're bringing us through. And I don't know if everyone else was the same way. But, because I'm a visual learner, I'm just watching this process. And honestly, I might have a lot of questions in the Facebook chat rather than now.
Okay.
So much to absorb. But I do want to hear from anyone if they want to leave feedback on the Zoom call. So y'all can unmute and leave feedback if you want to on the Zoom call. But yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's just a lot of very pertinent information, and I'm learning a lot. So
and play. The thing is to just get in there and play with it. Just type, type whatever. Again, as the idea is to, how can we use this in business, right? And for me, it's how can I use it for a post? If you notice that those pinwheels, that's on my LinkedIn newsletter. I was trying to find, I wanted to do, I was about the article is about color theory and e-learning. And so I wanted to find something colorful and I wanted vibrant colors. And so I thought a pinwheel was a good thing. So it took me a couple of iterations to get a pinwheel to what I wanted. So sometimes, you just kind of have to play. So it takes several attempts to get it to what you to the picture that you have in your mind, that the words might not match up. And that's where, sometimes using ChatGPT can help, because it will give you more of those words when you use some of those prompt templates. Because there is one that gives you 3 choices of what to put in for the prompt, and it kind of gives you 3 completely different images based on what you put in ChatGPT as your prompt to start with. So, using ChatGPT, having used these to create your images for your post. Was this the one I wanted to share?
Trisha, while you were speaking though, I wanted to ask this, because a lot of this stuff I know is transferable with the information. Because we said this before, that there's technology, there's going to always be something new. But when you said jumped in and just start now, like I think even to that point, because when I was in MidJourney, I was noticing that they're still in the beta phase. There's a lot of things that are happening with the systems that we have no control over.
Right.
But when you say jump in, is a lot of this information that we're learning, like what you're showing us here with MidJourney and ChatGPT and Discord, is this also applicable to a lot of new systems that will possibly be coming out?
Oh, absolutely. Because again, look at how, Microsoft took Bing, and now in the Bing browser, first of all, Bing was not even on our list of, browsers out there. It jumped up to one of the top 10 downloads in just a couple of weeks once they announced that AI is built in. And I don't know, sometimes if you've gone in and tried to use ChatGPT and you can't log in, it says the servers are full, da 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 da. So immediately when it tells me the server is full, I just jump over to Bing, and I use Bing because I don't have any problem getting on Bing and using the chat model on there, because it's the same version 4 that's on OpenAI. So these things are going to come up in various platforms as we use it. Like I said, Adobe just released that it's now going to use so now you're in Photoshop, you can take your image, which I've done, you take the image from the Adobe text to AI, put it in Photoshop, make your changes or add text to it, because MidJourney is not very good about adding text. It's great if you go through and look at some of the things that folks have done. It's great at creating logos though. So I see a lot of people in there creating logos for their business, which is awesome, so, or you can take an existing image. So let me show you this. So let's say you have an image of something. So like my pinwheel example, let me go down here. I can tell it to build based on an image. Now that image has to be somewhere else. So what I typically do is I just upload it to my server. I gotta get all the way. Address pinwheel. Okay, so you see here, I said create a vibrant pinwheel using, and then it says this image. Now it came up with that gobbledygook for the image, but what I actually typed in was trisha-allen.com/temp. and the name at pinwheel.com. So I put in an actual pinwheel to start with as my image. So what you could do is, let's say you have something already and you want to use that, or you have an image of yourself. I saw something that you guys might be interested in. I got to find it. There is an app now. Let's say you want to do like headshots, or like I said, I need, Allegra asked me for a picture and I'm like, oh Lord Jesus, where am I going to find a picture of myself that I want to actually, have shared out there? But you can upload a picture on a white background, a headshot, a full body shot, and it gives you a whole variety of professional looking pictures using AI of yourself, which I think is phenomenal. And it's only $17. It may not be the best, but in a pinch, you have something you need a headshot for, and you're not very good at Photoshop and putting yourself in a, taking your head and putting on somebody else's body that has a suit on already. That is definitely doable. So I see so many different applications where AI can come up in how you use it in business. Did I answer your question? Or I just went on one of my little side rants?
No, that's very good. About the answer more than that one question for me, and thank you for that. It gives clarification to a lot of things, and I think questions, like even sometimes when I don't know what to ask, I look a lot deeper. So I'm like, wait, there's got to be something that I don't know that I can just kind of put out there. So that was something that came up.
Right.
And what I saw in the chat, Glennis joined us, and she was saying, what platform is that? So we've been going over it for a while. Trisha, do you want to do a refresh real quick?
Oh,
for what platform you're on?
absolutely. So we are looking at using ChatGPT and MidJourney. So MidJourney runs like most of the text to AI tools out there, Lexica, Leonardo, Adobe now has one, but MidJourney seems to be at the top of the heap as far as text to AI and the quality of the images. So we have been looking at MidJourney and just images and what the prompt anatomy looks like in MidJourney, and some of the parameters that you can put on it, and how you can use ChatGPT to craft a better, maybe not better, because you might know your thing better, but use ChatGPT to enhance your existing prompt. And then I was going to digress, because remember the other day, AI PRM now no longer gives us those tones and whatnot. So I wanted to share a prompt with you guys. So this one is telling it the voice and style the same way that we could on, remember last week I said I was mad at it, and I'm still kind of mad at it, but that's another story. So prior, we could change the tones, and you had like 12 different tones and 20 different writing styles, and now they want you to pay for it. So, but you don't have to, because all you have to do is, when you're writing your prompt, write your prompt with those words in it, right? So some of the words was, conversational or friendly or whatever. So this prompt is setting your voice and style guide first before you put the prompt in. So voice and style guide: use a formal and academic tone paired with sophisticated vocabulary and grammar. Provide a thorough and in-depth analysis of the subject matter. Explain complex scientific concepts in a clear and accessible way. Use examples from a variety of fields, such as psychology, cognitive science. Present counter arguments and dissenting opinions in a balanced and objective way. So this is our parameter before we get to our prompt. And so then the prompt was, how can I get ahead in my career? It could be anything, right? But the main part is to understand that parameter that's in there when you put it in ChatGPT, right? So I'm just going to copy that and paste it in and see what it says. And again, this part here is just what you would put in, but this is the parameter that's a good parameter to use, just another one to add to your toolkit, right? So I try to share, every week I share a prompt that you can save and reuse. And we're going to put these in the Facebook. I'm going to do better. So we're going to put this in the Facebook group so that we have it. And so let's see what it comes up with. So again, remember, we asked for a formal and academic tone. So in order to get ahead in your career, there are several factors to consider. These include your skills, experience, networking abilities, and work ethic. One of the most important factors in career advancement is developing a strong skill set. This involves identifying the key skills required for success in your chosen field and actively working to improve these skills through education, training, and practical experience. It is also important to stay up to date with the latest development trends, blah, 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 right? In conclusion. So it gives us all of this. But, so this was a very generic, but what if I had really asked it something pertinent, which I don't really know what, this is why I keep my things very generic. Let's see. Which text to AI tool is best suited for female business owners? interesting that it's talking ChatGPT 3 when ChatGPT is now up to version 4. And you can always tell your version down here at the bottom of the chat GPT screen here. It'll tell you March 14th. And so we know if you click on it, it'll tell you what version that is, that release note was. So we can see here that it was 4. But yet it's talking about 3. So we can go on and say, what about GPT-4 or MidJourney? Oops, if I can spell MidJourney or Lexico. Interesting. So it's still thinking, so it's saying that its knowledge cuts off, it's still at 2021, although it's supposed to be using GPT-4 here. So we see that one of the flaws of the system, but it went on to tell us about MidJourney and Lexico, which is interesting too. I find that quite interesting. So that's just a prompt I wanted to share with you. And what else did I have? Oh, some apps, some AI apps that is of interest. Notion, which may be one way to get us to use an AI app. I'm going to put these prompts in Notion, and then I'm going to put my Notion link. I'll put this in a Notion doc, and I'll share my Notion link over on the site. And so you guys can get a feel for what Notion is. Napkin is another one that's an interesting AI app. So what it does is, remember the that book from a couple years back, and I'm probably dating myself because I say a couple years, it's probably Back in the Napkin is probably more like 15 years ago, but whatever. The Back of the Napkin. So this AI app is called Napkin. And basically what it is you jot down everything. So if you have a URL that you want to save, or you're thinking about a list of something, your grocery list, your whatever, you put it all together, and the Napkin, the AI tool, makes sense of the randomness of your thoughts. So you take all your random thoughts, you dump it in, and it will make the logical groupings for you. So you don't have to say, oh, this is related to, the kids' school activity, and this is related to my business. It will try to make sense of it. And when it doesn't, you kind of have to help it along. But it will kind of learn as you group things, it learns what you're doing. So I thought that was a pretty cool AI app to share with you guys. So that is really all I have to share. So go and create, if you don't already have a Discord account, create your Discord account, go to midjourney.com, and on that screen where it says join the beta, that is how you jump from there into the Discord, into their Discord server. And I will, if there's at least 5 people that did that, then I will give you the next set of instructions, which is how to use create your own server so that you're not mixed in with the newbies. So you see over here, this is my bike group, but I use that one. So you see, I do everything inside of my own space. So I'm not mixed up on the MidJourney server with their folks. But it's always a good idea to come in here and see how people are, how they're writing their prompts though. So I do always come and check out and see what folks are creating over here. And with that said, what else do we have? So some resources, I will put these links in the group. And if you'd like a copy of that PDF that I was showing you that is the guide to AI imaging, just text me, email me something, reach out. How about this? If you follow me on LinkedIn, message me on LinkedIn, and then that way I know that you're on there with me. So I can then share that guide with you. So back to my follow. Tell you I'm trying to build that LinkedIn group. And I think that is all I have to share today. And I did it all in under an hour. Yay me.